And welcome back to the Geelong Cricket Show. Yes, it's the time for the Duck of the Week award. Well, Grant Chew, our guest this morning, he's already won it one time this year. We hope he doesn't have to win it again. But we had some leading batsmen make it last. Gareth Yellen made a duck. Shane Arthur made a duck. Dev Royce made a duck. Richie Hassett made a duck. But the Duck Award this week goes to the man that sat in the guest chair last Saturday morning, Scott Mullen from Newtown and Chilwell. Welcome to the Duck Exclusive Club here on the Geelong Cricket Show. Looking at Geelong Cricket Association Division 1, Tim, it was a very interesting round last round, but this week 4 of the top 6 sides meet each other in GCA Division 1, and what a match-up first of all. The top side, the Grovedale Tigers, at home at the Stuart Boyd Oval at Burdu Reserve against Lara, who are down in 4th place. Christopher John Bamber and his boys, they will want to get back on the winning list.
Yeah, they certainly will, Graham. Obviously stung by their loss last week against Geelong West, and the Rams have really picked up their bundle, obviously sitting 3rd at the moment, and that win is important for them. But just focusing on this game, I guess, for a second, and Grovedale obviously been the side that have put themselves out in front of everyone, and apart from, they're really the side that's are the ones that have cemented themselves inside that top 6 at the moment, and they're really the only side at the moment, I think, that you can look at and say they're certainly going to be playing finals cricket, and I think that they'll just cement that position again with a win here against Lara. But then the competition's really that tight, as Dewey said before the break, and I think you could look at it and say that Lara are going to win as well, because it certainly is going to be another one of those really tight fixtures that we're loving seeing in the GCA at the moment, but very foolish, I think, to tip against Grovedale.
So you're going for the Tigers. You worried me there for a little. I thought you were going to sit on the fence.
No, I didn't sit on the fence, Graham. I'm going for Grovedale. I don't like tipping, but obviously it got me in trouble last week, but I'm going for Grovedale.
Grant, your learned view.
Oh, look at what a tremendous game. You got
yes.
Some of the best players in the competition going around. You know, Chris Bambury is as good as anybody. You've got Yates, who's made a massive impact coming into the competition. Any side with a man with the name Hughes in it from Lara is going to be a good player. And you've got, obviously, Barry Chutis and Graham Harper leading the way with the ball. Gareth Yellen's been in outstanding form for Grovedale. And then there's always the very, very dangerous Gary Kelson. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Grovedale taking on Lara. And the other two, the two sides from the top 6 battling each other this week, it's East Belmont now in 5th position at home at Winter Reserve. Then they're under the umbrellas out there in the beautiful patio out the front of the club rooms down there at Winter Reserve, taking on South Barwon, who will... They have Glenn Hornstein back?
Brad Hornstein, Graham.
Brad Hornstein. I keep calling him Glenn. There's 3 brothers. There's Glenn, there's Darren, and there's Brad. So Brad's back.
He should be back this week, and obviously he's been playing up in Albury for the week, so it's been a week full of cricket. Hopefully he's gained some form up there, because South Barn, they got shown up a little bit without him last week, and not only did it show how important Brad Hornstein is, I think, as a cricketer to that South Barn side, but also the influence he has, obviously captaining that Victorian countryside and also captaining South Barn. So really important for them to get Brad Hornstein back this weekend against Grant's side. It's going to be another really competitive fixture, and I think with South Barn getting knocked off last week on the form lines, you'd have to go for East Belmont in this one, Graham. Obviously an important win for them last week. They're inside the top 6, and I think they'll get another win, which potentially pushes South Barn out.
Always a good battle at Winter Reserve, Grant. You would be confident?
Oh, well, you can only be as confident. You know, good winning form's good form, and we won last week. South, as you said, Tim, they're a tremendous side. Brad's back. Hopefully he's a bit tired after his country cricket excursions, but I think that it's always nice to play at home, and with a bit of luck, we hopefully be able to get a result.
St Joseph's in 2nd position up there at the Russell Zampatti Oval, the picturesque Russell Zampatti Oval, take on Manifold Heights. Grant, I think St Joey's will be too strong. Morgan and Fanning really leading by example.
Oh, they've been leading the way all year, those 2 tremendous cricketers. St Joey's, let's not forget Mr Foster in there, who makes a lot of runs for the boys as well. Joey's just a good all-round side. There's not really any weaknesses in the St Joey's lineup, and they play at that ground particularly well.
Now, Tim, are you game to tip against St Joseph's this week?
I'm not going to tip against them, don't worry. It's a silly, silly man, and I got made to look stupid last week. You don't tip against St Joseph's, and while North Geelong got within 20 runs, it probably was a game that St Joseph's did dominate and did deserve to win last week out there at Osborne Park. So not going to be foolish enough to tip against St Joseph's, and I think they'll get a pretty easy and a pretty comfortable win against Manifold Heights.
One of the most interesting games, Bellpost Hill at home at Myers Reserve against the reigning premiers Geelong West. The Rams on the charge. They've moved into third position on the ladder and are looming dangerously, Tim Michell.
They certainly are. They had one of the most difficult runs home of any of the sides that were pushing for spots inside that top six, but we know they came home with a wet sail last year, Geelong West, and they're looking like one of the sides to beat again. And I think Belpost Hill will know it's a really crucial game for them, obviously slipping outside the top six. Graham now sitting 8th on the ladder, really important for both sides, but with the form that they're displaying at the moment, and I think, as you alluded to when we came back, Shane Arthur obviously making a duck last week. He'll be keen to resurrect himself with a little bit of form, and after being out injured, I think he might just lead Geelong West to another win.
Grant?
It's always a very difficult place to go out at my reserve, but Belpost Hill will have Alex Cairns back from country state duty, and he's a tremendous player. So they play some good cricket. Ty Watts played an outstanding innings last weekend, but any side with Glenn Tallarico is going to be dangerous.
All eyes will be on the battle between Geelong City Sharks and the North Geelong Magpies. Geelong City winning their second game of the season last week when they upset South Barwon. North Geelong, well, they dropped the game, but Alfie Clark has moved to within 4 runs to equal Jack Singh's all-time record of runs made in the Geelong Cricket Association. He needs 5 runs today against Geelong City if North Geelong bat first. Your thoughts, Tim Michell?
Yeah, Geelong City, obviously a fantastic win for them last week over South Barwon. I saw that they've seemed to have a bit of success against over the season, and I think North Geelong, look, they were tipped, obviously, as I said last week, to finish outside that top 6, and a few people saying that maybe a little bit of inexperience towards the business end of the season might end up hurting North Geelong. I think they're a good enough side to put it together and bounce back with a victory this weekend. I think we might see the Magpies back inside the top 6 after this round of cricket, Graham.
Grant?
Any side, with Andrew Ferguson in it is going to be hard to beat, although Scott Lindsay's been playing well and Adam Pitts is back for City. But also I think that Brad Scown's got a bit of wind in his sails at the moment, is bowling really well for the Magpies. And
in a nutshell, Newtown and Chewell on the bottom of the ladder, they haven't won a game so far this season. They take on Leopold. Tim, can they win a game?
I tipped them last week and was a little bit disappointed in the 2 Blues, so I'm not going to be able to tip them this week. I think Leopold in that one, Graham.
Grant?
Well, on the form line, you'd say Leopold, but the way the season's gone, Graham, there's been some upsets and things happen. So Ben Neville is just a quality player. So if he gets away, he's hard to stop. So anything could happen out there.
That's GCA Division 1, Lords of Cricket. You didn't listen to the question last week. The question was, who was the first Australian to score a century this summer? Not this year, 2010. Summer started on the 1st of December 2009. So who was the first Australian Test cricketer to score 100? Lots of answers of Mike Hussey, but not the right one. www.guestmedia.com with the answer to that question, and you can win a Lords of Game Cricket. Thanks for being with us on the Geelong Cricket Show today. Thanks very much to Grant Chew. Hope you enjoy your cricket today. Tim Michell, enjoy yours.
Yeah, certainly will, Graham. Don't forget in Division 2 as well, the big top-of-the-table clash between Thomson and Torquay to look forward to.
The Tommy Tigers against the Torquay Tigers. I'll go for the Tommy Tigers in that one. Until next week on the Geelong Cricket Show, when we'll be back with more and all the Geelong cricket action, Rawlo saying, catch ya.